Alright. I'm at Johnson Creek. Hi. This is where there used to be 4 houses back here. The city of Portland bought the land, I guess, and tore down the houses and backfilled the lots here. Because it's in, along the Johnson Creek, waterway here. But I was checking it out the other day because I was doing some yard work for friends of a friend close by, and he said go check it out. So I noticed this really cool rock work. Check it out. There it's Tartarian. I've been really intrigued by the mud flood, the buried buildings, Tartaria. And so, anyway, I was down here. Johnson Creek's been here a long time. And, I don't know when this is Portland officially became a city, but San Francisco was as late as 1849. That was, 1849, so 150, 160, 170 years ago. But not long before that was freaking Lewis and Clark, 1820, something like that. So here we are at Johnson Creek. Now, I was looking at the rock work. Let me check this shit out. Take my shoes off so I can walk over there. There's Happy McJetliner flying by. Lovely. Check it. Barefoot. I'm looking at the rock as I'm walking through the water the other day, and I start to dawn on me just that, those aren't uniform blocks. It's not how we do it in modern times if we wanted to bolster the embankment, right? And then what got me was that tree right there. Now, I'm looking at the rock, and you can totally see the structure of it. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. You can walk down there at least another half a mile in this section. If that's not enough, okay, I was looking at the rock and I was going, those were all fitted by whoever built that embankment, and whoever did it, well, judging by that tree right there, that tree's got to be, I don't know, or this one here. Either one of these cedars could be 100 years old or more, which would take us back to 1920. And they're growing up out of the edge of the embankment. So I'm thinking, these things could be really old. And then when I came back along the trail, I'll go over there and show you here. It's nice to have battery life and on something to record with. I'm usually worried about the battery dying or running out of memory, but this thing has got plenty of memory and it's pretty new. I think the battery's all right. So I'm coming back and I'm looking at all the trees growing up out of the edge of this the bank, whatever, the shoring up of the bank from Johnson Creek. And then I see this part right here. And this right here, okay, this is all, lose my balance. This is all dirt path, right? Right here. I just came from over there and up over there. And so I'm looking at the angle of here, in this lower section here, and this is clearly a road, or was a road. It was a road before this tree grew here. And just to get a perspective of the size of the tree, how about if I set this thing down and go stand by it real quick. It's not a little tree. And you can clearly see this guardrail that used to run down here. And what, is this where it ended? Was this a boat launch when this was a much bigger stream, or what? You know, and what's it freaking made out of? Because it has the appearance of rock, but it also has it looks kind of like concrete in places, but it doesn't deform like concrete. It looks like rock. And it used to be a lot thicker, you can tell through here, as this wall used to come up a little higher, apparently up to this point level here. And it goes up the road there. And up the road, what do we have? More trees and more trees growing in the roadway. So if those trees started growing there, then this had become unused maybe 100 years ago. So who built it before then? And they didn't use any mortar. All those rocks are fitted, and they go on and on and on down the creek. And there are big evergreens growing out of the edges of it too. I mean, trees that I bet are 150 years old. And as all the way down, you know, our history shouldn't be that old here. So I walked down this trail, and I also found an interesting dedication plaque here. Oh my God, some asshole took it down. Can't fucking believe that. There was a plaque right there on this tree. It said, what did it say? It said, in memory of Kingsley D and Bundy, Kingsley J D Bundy. And the dates were 1895 and 1980. So whoever Kingsley was died in 1980, and I was going to come here and get it on video, and I was here 3 days ago. And it's been taken down already. That's some bullshit. That was part of the coolest part of the video I was going to make, besides, you know, the Tartarian walkwork on the tree. Maybe it's a little farther up here. I could be mistaken. Spider webs in my face. Lovely. Okay, good. I'm like, who would take that down? Wrong tree. My bad. Okay, so here we are. This tree. In memory of Kingsley D Bundy, 1895, 1981. So they must have had lived around here maybe, or had one of the houses. This tree right here, I mean, look at the size of this beast. That's a big flocking tree. And check it. I'll walk out on it. Well, seriously, it's a big tree. This is a big root ball. I would guesstimate this tree to be, it's got to be 150 years. Here's the hole in the ground where the root ball is. I'm too close to get a perspective on. But look where the hole is, where the roots are, where this tree's growing from. Straight off the edge of the wall. So this wall was here before this tree started to grow. And that tree's 150 years old if it's a day. So how old is that wall along Johnson Creek when there was no city really out here? It was just rural areas and hunters and pelt, you know, trappers and whatever, and Indians. Supposedly it's just Indians. Indians didn't build that wall. So I'm back here in the big trees and going for a walk, and I come across this. It's our first thought you'd think, oh, it's a barbecue. And it may be a barbecue. But it's kind of an odd barbecue. It's like this used to be somebody's backyard, except now it's filled with giant trees and bushes and ferns. So this, you know, there's some steel. What's that say? Oh, I forgot my glasses, I think. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. You can't read it. But anyway, nice. Look at that brick, too. Okay, you would think brick, but it doesn't look like brick. It looks like a red rock. It's a little shinier than a brick should be. It doesn't have any crumbly texture to it, like a brick would have. It's a red rock. Oh, and that's what else is behind it here. What is this? Maybe that was the chimney. Got broke off the top and knocked back there. And you see, these are big trees. They're not old growth, but they're kind of old growth. Pardon the light. I should have done this earlier, but that was the chance I got, so. Let's keep going back here. Gotta get off of there, spider. Go back down this trail to where you can tell we've gone a little ways. And kind of souped off everywhere. It's also strange that there's not more homeless people back here. There's a couple of abandoned camps that were broke up the hillside on the other side. They look like they'd been, like nobody'd been there in a year or more. They were pretty well, just grown over, and everything was old and crusty, nothing recent looking. This is just a gorgeous area too. This is like one of the most beautiful spots I've been in years. And it's right here. We're not even that far out of town. And just like the last time I was back here, I didn't so far. I don't see anybody. Well, somebody might be camping over there, I guess. Anyway, check it. I kind of wonder how far the block work goes. All the rocks is black too. It's over there too. It's all the same rock wall with big trees growing out of it at the top. Now, you don't build a wall with trees already growing out of it. So this retaining wall along Johnson Creek is older than the trees that are falling next to it, and those trees are 100 or more years old. There's another oddball thing. All throughout this piece of property right here, there are sewer pipes. I guess that could be for flood control. There's one right there. Up there is where those camps were that looked like they were all burned out and raided or something. I can hear water running under there, so I guess they put that in here. When? I don't know. I mean, if they put pipes in the ground here, then they're under all these trees. I guess that's a bit funky. This is obviously our time frame stuff, but what about this box? I mean, they're not uniform blocks. Each one is presumably unique, and so they have to be fitted together as best that they will. There's no mortar. There doesn't appear to be any concrete. All the rock in the creek bed is black, and all of it's black. It's brought in here. It looks like the rock that they use along, what's that called? Up on Bridal Veil or Vista House. That's the gorge. Places up the gorge that have a lot of the same rock. And it just continues on and on and on and on and on. Both sides of this creek were formed and built with this rock over 150 years ago, I'm going to say, because those trees are huge, and there's more than just the couple that I pointed out. I mean, there's a lot of small trees along the edge, but here, there's the wall going up right there. Here we have a cedar and an evergreen that have mated into a cedar green. Right? Check that shit out. Cedar on the right, evergreen on the left. Spiderweb on my finger. So anyway, that's my video for today. Tartarian walls on Johnson Creek. You know, that road coming in on the side back there. It's just so strange. I'm looking at, I mean, it looks kind of like concrete, but when you touch it, it's not concrete. It makes me wonder how many houses were back here before all these trees grew up in here. What were the trees that were here before? And these are not old growths. Pretty old. That one there is pretty. That's a big tree. There's a pipe coming out of the ground over here. I never went over in this area. I stuck along the creek. Just take a walk over here for a minute. You know, there's a lot of camp areas you can see. We got PVC pipe, so something fairly recent. You know, you can kind of see flattened out areas where you think maybe there is a house there or something, but it's been so long ago that there's literally no evidence or remnants other than what you can infer. I need an inferometer, and we can find out what to infer. But I digress. Okay, so back this way. Camping prohibited. You would think that with the economy and the amount of homeless people, there would be more people camping back here, but it's a little ways out of the main part of town, and it's on a dead-end road. A lot of people probably don't know about it, so lucky for this place. Big trees. So I'll come back over here. It's cool on the other side over there too. Probably 100 feet higher than elevation than I am now. On the other side of the creek over there, up on the middle of the hillside, is another sewer drain. It's a lot taller than that last one, but just as old looking and covered with moss and no evidence of a date or anything that I could make out. Yeah, that's a big ass tree right there. That one's 150 years old easy. Probably all three of these. That one, and that one. Whoever built this barbecue planted that one, right? Yeah, it's just, I try and tell my family or some of my friends about some of these Tartaria videos, you know, and mud flood houses and these giant over-the-top, just gorgeous architectured stone buildings that used to be everywhere. Every major city was filled with them in this country. So our timeline for when America started and the West was settled and all that, if it's true, then the people, you know, who got to the Midwest and the West Coast just showed up suddenly, and the first thing they did was find a quarry and then start quarrying the finest stone possible and building giant monumental buildings and cathedrals and what have you. I don't buy it. Those buildings were there already. Our history of this land is way, way, way different and far older than we're told. I mean, this tree right there that fell, that was growing out of the edge of that retaining wall, which is made of fitted rock with no mortar. And so the evidence shows that that wall was built a long time ago when this was supposed to be wilderness. You know, yeah, there's a lot of strange shit going on. Let's get back here and we'll take one more look at that, what looks like a road or a boat launch that used to go down here. There it is. It looks like there's a bit of a edge over there where the back of that house would have been too. You can clearly see the angle though. See it's Going up, 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 up. And where would it have gone to? Well, the little roadway for the boat launch with big old trees growing out of it would have went right up here. There's looking down it. It would have went right up to these big trees here and a big hole on the other side. Now this is somebody's private property up there, so I don't want to go up there and piss them off or get shot at. Yeah, so there's my video. Giant old trees growing out of the top of the edge of the retaining wall that it would have had to have been built before the trees grew. The trees are really old, so they're, as old as our history of this area. I'm going to have to look this up some more and do some research, but very weird to find. It's just like, what? I mean, that thing right there, clearly, that was, or it was a waterway, maybe, that channeled water into the creek. I don't know. But I'm going to get myself a little earth river grounding here. With my feet in the mud, because there's some badass mud over here. Oh, it's really good mud. It's really good. Goofy and, yeah, anyway. And just so you can see that it's not just a little bit of this wall, it goes for at least a mile I know of, or close to it. Okay, half a mile. All black rock, even little round ones. There's probably some of the old house that was there before the house that they built that they tore down. There's the road level almost looks like it could have went up into that bundle of trees right there. But all along, it goes on and 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 on. So Johnson Creek's been here a long, long time, and not just a creek, one meandering this way. Yeah, but as a artificially enhanced waterway. Definitely part of the old house. No-name bricks. See, now that's not like that red rock in the barbecue thing over there. That red rock was brick-colored, but definitely a rock. Weird, wild stuff, man. All right. Take care. Look up John Levi channel and UAP. Really like UAP channel. Fake space and NASA and huge mud floods and you name it. Yeah, there's a lot more going on than we know about. Peace.